it's officially 2 o'clock. We can go ahead and get started. I know everyone is probably busy, and I don't want to take up any more time of yours than is unnecessary. But to thank you for attending the end of the summer updates. Uh, I hope everyone is enjoying their summer as it's coming to an end. It's very hot here in Florida, but I love the heat, so I will never complain. And we'll go ahead and get started then. So today we're going to talk about the beta testing and tempo that's going on, and then what's new for PennyMac. I also wanted to take some time to go over the ICE document uploads, and that is for document uploads and those DDFs that require documents. And then I will switch it off to Tom, who's going to go over some AI Workbench updates. And then lastly, if you are needing to catch up with Gretchen, I'll tell you about how to go about to do that. And throughout the webinar today, everybody is on mute to eliminate any background noises or distraction, but we want to make sure we still answer your questions. So luckily we have the original NetDirector analyst, now Operations Director, Melissa McCabe, who will be monitoring the chat and answering your questions throughout today's webinar. So at any time during this today, if you have any questions about anything that I'm going over or any other topics, feel free to put that in the chat and Melissa will answer those for you. All right, well, let's get started. So as I said, first we'll go over the tempo update. And what we're currently doing with Tempo right now is we're beta testing a new API for them. Not sure if you're aware or not, but currently Tempo uses an SFTP. And unfortunately, with an SFTP, there are some transactions that are really unnecessary for integration purposes, but we have to intake those to get the information we need. So if you ever look on your dashboard or in your log or something and you see some Tempo transactions on hold, that's why. So with this new API, that will eliminate those unnecessary transactions, but it's also going to help alleviate the missing referrals. Now, Tempo has been very good about if there is a missing referral, that they're very good about sending that referral promptly. But with the new API, that will help alleviate that issue. What's also nice about the new API is that they're going to add additional fields in the referral. So that referral will look a little bit more robust, similar to an ICE referral, where you have additional fields such as the inactive investor, lien holder's investor name, investor code, or any other information that helps you and that you need that wasn't normally provided by Tempo. So at this time, if you have any questions about Tempo and the new API, Melissa is ready for your questions and she'll be answering those. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the PennyMac updates. Okay. So you're probably already aware that PennyMac has foreclosure and bankruptcy referrals. The one thing that you have to remember with PennyMac is that the referrals contain a unique milestone or event task ID. So it's assigned to every task on the foreclosure or bankruptcy. And what you want to do is make sure that you're intaking that event task ID because you're going to need it for your standard events. So PennyMac has already been doing foreclosure events, but what's new are the bankruptcy events. So same as foreclosure events, the bankruptcy event will require that task ID contained in the referral. And that's why I said you want to make sure you're storing that. The other update with PennyMac is the document uploads. Now they already had foreclosure documents, but now they have bankruptcy documents that are available for upload. But again, they require a task ID that's contained in the referral. Okay. If you have any questions about PennyMac, please put those in the chat and Melissa will make sure those are answered. And I'll just go through here real quick. Doesn't look like we have any questions yet, but she's there and available and we'll keep moving on. As I stated earlier, I wanted to go over the ICE document uploads and documents that are uploaded and attached to the DDF. So maybe I think it's been about a couple months now that ICE was standardizing their documents and they created a new media classification. And you probably have seen that if you've logged into desktop and you've seen where like you're trying to upload a document for just to the file or to a DDF, it asks for them, says to upload it to the corresponding media classification XYZ. The thing with the media classification is that it does not apply to the integration process. So the integration still uses the document type. That has not changed. So anything that you were using before as a document type before they enacted the media classification should still work. So in your document uploads and in your documents for your DDFs, you want to make sure that you're including the document type, because what ICE will do is they'll take it and map to the corresponding media classification on their side. Okay, so there's, to make sure there's no confusion around the document type or the media classification, ICE provided this report with the note when they sent out the notification about it. If you need it, let us know and we can send you the link. But they'll have 3 columns, and the column C is the mapped media classification. But then for integration, you want to use column A, the document type. So in your transactions, you would include any one of these documents in column A. Now, if you're sending the document type and it's still failing, it could be that the servicer never mapped that specific document type to a media classification. So if that's the case, unfortunately, we can't do anything and neither can ICE. So you'll have to contact the servicer and just ask them, hey, can you map the agency appeal to a foreclosure document media classification so we can update it? Okay. All right, so at this time, Melissa still's got the questions going, so she's got that covered. And at this time, I'm gonna pass it over to, oops, to Tom, who's gonna go over the AI Workbench updates. So Tom, when you're ready, just let me know.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Perfect. Let me know if everybody can see my screen now.
We can.
Okay, great. So what we're doing is we're going to just look at some new features that have been added to our redaction platform. And we continually each month or two try to enhance it based on customer feedback. So the first thing we're going to show you that was added pretty recently. I'm going to go ahead and log into this annotated redaction document. And I'm going to enter, let me just make sure I can increase this a little bit so everybody can see it. All right, so some of the cool things we've implemented are, let's say, for example, the firm wanted the code HCF 1020 down here in the corner left as to be redacted. And this could be for phone numbers that you want always redacted, but some you don't, or codes. These are not necessarily true PII to us, but we allowed each of the clients to individually customize this by user or by company. So I'm just going to go ahead and annotate this HCF 1020 as an example. And up at the top here, you'll see the always allow and the always block buttons. So they work pretty much the same. Let's say I always want to block HCF 1020. Oops. Here, my screen's a little bit. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so we got the always block. It's going to tell you it's going to permanently redact this. Do you want to do it for a specific scope, which could be just me, just my user ID, I want it special for me, or company-wide, and then each of the team members would want to check with the managers before they did it. So once you select this, it will now be redacted going forward. And the same goes for if there's something we find that may not be PII to you, you can also select this, and you can hit the always allow, and then that would reverse it. So that's something pretty cool that we've added. And we've mentioned before that we do have the multi-annotate. So the nice thing here is if, let's go ahead and remove, we select something in the document that might have been missed. This may not be a good example. We've got 5 matches. It's going to go ahead and find all the matches in the document. So basically just saves all this time from having to touch each page. Okay. So the other thing we've got is some quick tricks videos that are only about 3 or 4 minutes, and they go through some of the new stuff that we're adding into the product. So sometimes, you know, training and keeping people up to speed is difficult. So we've kind of implemented this to help each of the firms out. So we just recommend every month or 2 for each of the users to go in and check out these short videos. Okay, great. And we do have the full screen now that helps for maximizing the screen real estate. Okay, so the other really cool thing we've got in here is really unique to us. We have clients that want to be able to audit what their team members are doing when they're redacting. There's really a variance across team members. Some will do something and some won't. It's not consistent. So what we do here is we do provide what we call a confidence here. This is really an effort. What did the effort go into this document from that particular processor? So the managers can come in here and select this option here, and they can actually do a side-by-side comparison of what did NetDirector annotate and what did they change. So you'll see in here, they took out the title order number. They went ahead and added down here, it looks like some of the form numbers in the lower right. Some firms want these, some firms don't. We can always customize this for you too. If you find that's something you always want, form numbers and some of these footers. But this is nice because they can keep an eye on that job queue. And if they see anything over 5 or 6 effort level, they want to kind of go in and see if it's the user or if it was a bad document. That helps them to retrain and train new users. So the auditing departments actually like this as well. All right, let's see here. Is there anything else? I think, Nicole, that's it for the really new stuff. I think we went over most of the other features in that product in the last webinar. So I'll open it up to any questions.
Let me double check the chat. I don't see anything else for any questions for the AI Workbench, but if you do have some, no worries. Again, you can still put them in the chat, or we can catch up later and Tom can do a demo if you're not currently using the AI Workbench, which includes AI Extract and AI Redact. Both of them are really awesome tools. I wish I would have had them back when I worked files. It would have made my life so much easier. Just being able to see it and the quickness of it.
Nicole,
It's just a really nice.
I'll go ahead and hit the LLM as well to kind of round this out.
Okay, cool.
So when you're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
So one of the things that NetDirector has been experimenting with that we've heard some firms talk to us about, which is using these LLMs. They call them LLMs. It's like the Chat GPTs or the Claude AI, or it's, you know, and any of the Grok, any of the ones that are out there. NetDirector has the ability now to use these LLMs and distribute them to firms in a very secure environment, which means nothing ever gets saved, nothing ever gets trained on. We have a secure pipe, and you can now start thinking about using these tools without fear of any PII or any kind of data leakage. So what I'm going to show you here is, this is kind of crude, but we're going to have a chat window similar to what you'll see in Chat GPT. I just listed over here, kind of just as a note, some of the different models that we're using. So we're going to allow the the firms to select different models depending on how complicated of a task they want to try to perform. And we'll have more information, but Claude, for example, is, you know, anything from Sonnet all the way up to Opus to do some very complex stuff. So we're going to be giving this a kind kind of a demo, and we're going to put it out there in the Extract Workbench. And we're going to start querying firms to see which one of our firms that are currently on the Workbench want to start testing that out. And let's see here, Nicole, I think, so everybody knows that the LLMs can be used for really anything. I just put some example, extracting data off of some of the documents, summarizing case files, legal research, drafting, training and onboarding, things like that. So really this is just, what you can do on ChatGPT, any of these kind of new features or functions you want to do in the firm, this LLM will help you kind of formulate that. So I know that there's kind of some words in there, and I'm not sure if anybody would have some questions there, but I'll kind of open it up, Nicole, to see if anybody's got anything there.
So Tom, can you just explain why a firm would rather use this and the AI Workbench than going out to ChatGPT?
Right. So the ChatGPT, if you use the generic one, which everybody has access to, they will take your data and they'll train it. So if you put in socials or any client data, it could possibly be propagated out there eventually, which is why everyone's afraid to use the LLMs or the ChatGPTs. Each of those products now have kind of a business version that starts securing them, but sometimes they're a little pricey. So there's options out there, Nicole. We're also going to try to provide ours that gives a little more flexibility in the different models that they might need to use depending on what task they're trying to accomplish.
So basically using this one would keep all that, whatever they're searching, private.
Yes.
It wouldn't be out there in the world for anyone to see what they put.
On our private network, and nothing gets stored or trained on.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, Tom. I can't wait to see it. That's going to be super cool. Are there any other questions while we have Tom? I think everybody's pretty much using the chat, and Melissa is a superhero answering all those questions. So if that's it for Tom, I appreciate you joining us today and showing that. And everybody,
Sure.
Thank you. And everybody hopefully can see my screen again, correct? Just someone give me a thumbs up. I think we're good. All right. No, you cannot see my screen. All right. Well, that's not good. Thank you. Now I got the red thing. Sorry about that. User error. Okay, so now we're back. And lastly, at this time, we like to take the moment and have you guys chat with Gretchen. But unfortunately, Gretchen today is en route to the Compliance and Legal Issues Seminar, which is in Dallas. She's, like I said, literally en route right now. I think she's on a flight. She will be there the 21st and 22nd. So if you are attending or someone from your firm is attending and they want to stop by and say hello or they have any questions for her, she will be more than happy to do so. But if you are not attending, we always suggest that you schedule an annual automation review. This is a time where Gretchen will go over your existing transactions, and then she'll look at all our other additional transactions and really talk you through to see what transactions can help you with your processes and workflow. It's always your best resource is your people. So anytime that you can make something easier for them to free up their skills and talent to be focused on something that is not so redundant, such as updating or something like that, where automation comes into play. This is a time to talk to Gretchen about what additional transactions could help them. And then there's always, you can just talk to her via email, and that's just Gretchen@NetDirector.biz. And like I said, if you have questions about your account, she is our national account manager. So she's always looking forward to talking with you guys and answering your questions. So that's all I have for everyone today. If we didn't cover something that you would like us to cover, please go ahead in the chat, or you can send me an email at Nicole@NetDirector.biz, and we'll make sure we go over it in our next webinar. And that's all I really have for today. I appreciate you guys attending. Just waiting for that next holiday to roll around in Labor Day. So I hope everyone has a safe and happy, restful 3-day weekend for when that comes around. And now's the perfect time to talk to us. The slight intake and for uptake and foreclosures. So it's a good time to look over and meet with Gretchen or any of the integration analysts to discuss, any additional transactions. As you can always reach out to me, like I said, Nicole at NetDirector. We also have Betsy at NetDirector and Gary at NetDirector, and of course, our fearless leader, Michelle, good Lord, Melissa at NetDirector.biz. And it is definitely time for me to go. So I appreciate you guys attending today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. All right. Thank you, everyone.